What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one we're going to be talking about a top 2024 Michigan target set to announce his decision here in a couple days now, as he just announced his decision date. And we're also going to talk about what Jim Harbaugh, Blake Corum, Mike Sainristil, and Kris Jenkins said at Michigan's Big Ten Media Days, and everything we learned from Media Days today. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so we're going to talk about Big Ten Media Days and what Jim Harbaugh and some Michigan players said. But I first want to mention some big news on a top 2024 target for Michigan, as the 2024 four-star offensive tackle Bennett Warren has set his decision date for July 31st. He's going to be making his decision between Michigan, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma. He's ranked 143rd nationally on 24/7 Sports Composite Rankings, 82nd nationally on 24/7 Sports Rankings. And right now he has one crystal ball prediction going in favor for Texas A&M, and right now 3 crystal ball predictions going in Michigan's favor. And according to the recruiting prediction machine on 3, Michigan currently leads with an 80.9% chance to land him. We'll see if any of that changes before his decision date. But Bennett Warren, the 4-star offensive tackle from the state of Texas, committing on July 31st now. So big news there. But now let's go ahead and talk about Big Ten Media Days, and we'll obviously talk about what Jim Harbaugh said first. And obviously one of the hot topics right now is the NCAA violations and his potential suspension coming. All of this was on Big Ten Media Days on Big Ten Network, but Harbaugh told the media, as you probably already know, I'm not allowed to talk about any specifics to that ongoing situation. He said, I'd love to lay it all out there, nothing to be ashamed of, but now is not that time. That's about all there is to say about that. And obviously the biggest part there is Harbaugh saying nothing to be ashamed of, as we obviously all know this is quite some BS from the NCAA. I talked a lot about this already in my video yesterday, so if you guys want to learn more about Jim Harbaugh's potential suspension, you guys can go ahead and watch that video. But that's the only question that was asked about his potential suspension and the NCAA violations. It's pretty awesome to hear Harbaugh say that, saying nothing to be ashamed of. And he thinks he did nothing wrong, and even if he did do something wrong, it doesn't deserve a harsh punishment up to 4-game suspension. But next thing I want to talk about is Jim Harbaugh talking about J.J. McCarthy. He said that he's a once-in-a-generational type of quarterback at Michigan, and his progress continues to grow. He says everything that he does athletically, everything that he does throwing the football are at the elite level. And he said, I think the thing that makes him the most special is that he's willing to do anything for his teammates, anything for his team. And he also said that I think some compare him to Patrick Mahomes' Josh Allen. Harbaugh also got asked about conversation of playing the Michigan-Ohio State game earlier in the year, since they may be playing back-to-back weeks once the divisions are gone next season. He responded, we'll play whenever it's scheduled to be played. He said, right now let's play the last game of the season. I think everybody's used to that. Harbaugh also got asked about the Beat Georgia drill, and he said, like our good friend Ric Flair says, if you want to be the man, you gotta beat the man. He said, emphasis is stopping the run and being able to run the ball when the other team knows you are going to run the ball. He said, that's what I really respect about that team, their ability to run the ball when the other team knows they're gonna run the ball, and their ability to stop the run. Jim Harbaugh also talked about the whole roster of the team, listed all the talented players, but talking about Colston Loveland, he said the longer he takes to realize how good he is, the better off he'll be. And he said the secret's out, he's really good. And he also said that Amorion Walker, Josh Wallace, Jaden McBurrows are the main 3 contenders at cornerback, and he said that that battle and many other battles like the edge position and other position battles may even go into the season. But now I want to talk about what Blake Corum told the media. First off, talking about Jim Harbaugh's potential suspension. He said, I don't know too much about the situation, but as a leader, just rallying my guys. He said, if anything, it's going to make us go even harder. Maybe a little motivation, light a fire under us. But he said, I'm going to rally my troops, get them going, and we're going to do this for Coach Harbaugh if that is the case. He said, really just bring my guys together and do what we do. Play ball, leave it all on the field, and get the job done. He also said we're going to treat each game the same. And he said if Coach Harbaugh isn't there, he's going to be there in spirit. But he said he's prepared us enough so those 4 games we can rally together. And he said just make us want to win even more. Coram said we love Coach Harbaugh. He said we are all behind him. And he said we're just going to play for him. He also talked about his health. And he said I feel like $1 million. I feel great. And he said he had a doctor's appointment the other day and believes the doctor cleared him. So he said it feels good being back with my guys after a long process of rehab. He said it was a lot, but it feels great to be back. I'm back completely and I'm ready for camp. So he's back to full strength. Great news there. Like Coram also talked about him and Donovan Edwards. He said we want the best for each other and that's what makes us so special. But that's basically all the important stuff that Blake Corum talked about. And by the way, Blake Corum, Kris Jenkins, Mike Sainristil, they brought the drip. Mike Sainristil and Blake Corum both had a chain on, iced out, so pretty cool there. But I wanted to talk about what Kris Jenkins had to say to the media. First off, he said we want to perfect what we couldn't perfect last year. He said the important thing is we got to do more to be a better football team every single day. He also talked about his weight. He said he's sitting at 307, feeling comfortable, feeling good. And he said he's just waiting to put that weight on film. He also talked about the Beat Georgia drill. He said it's a gritty drill. He said where we try to improve ourselves physically. He said it's a bit of a trench battle. And he said we put it in to keep it with that mentality. He said if you gotta beat the guy, and he said right now that guy is Georgia. And basically saying if you want to be that football team, you gotta beat that football team. And obviously, you know, it's natty or bust coming up for Michigan this year. He also talked about Harbaugh's potential suspension. He said if he's not going to be there, it obviously hurts our hearts. And he said we're going to play for him. We're going to continue to attack each day in each game the same way we've had. And he said we're going to play the way, the type of team he's made us. Kris Jenkins also talked about the other defensive linemen. He said I could go down the list. They're absolute dogs. He said they're hungry. He said they're definitely going to make a lot of improvement and they're going to make a lot of big statements this year. So that's what Kris Jenkins had to say. Mike Sainristil was also there. First off, he talked about the offense. He said that we have 3 potential Heismans out of Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards, JJ McCarthy. He said don't sleep on him. He also got asked about Coach Harbaugh's potential suspension. He said we just focus on preparing. He said whether he's there for those first 4 games or not, I know that he would want us to do is go out there and play a great brand of football and lead on for the Block M. He said whether he's with those 4 games or not, we're going to play as if he was right there coaching us. He also talked about Amorion Walker. He said he's always daily in with Steve Clinkscale trying to learn the playbook. He said he's just trying to work on technique, everything he can do to get better. Talking about Josh Wallace, he said he's coming in here to compete and he's going to push other players too. So that's what Mike Sainristil had to say. And that is basically all the important information you guys need to know about Big Ten Media Days for Michigan. It's everything we learned. Lots of stuff going on, lots of stuff to talk about. And obviously the hot topic was Jim Harbaugh and his potential suspension. Thankfully, only one question was questioned for Jim Harbaugh. Obviously, he wasn't going to be talking about it at all anyways. But other than that, that is going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. Other than that, hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. We will see you guys in the next video. Peace.